everyone. We're here at the residence of a one-time governorship aspirant under People's Democratic Party, PDP, the person of Anthony CHUKS OBUH, to get his view on good governance and other political and traditional issues. Let's hear what he has to say. My name is Serena Etete, and this is Toshima TV.
Sherry Sandberg once said, if you are offered a seat on a rocket ship, don't ask what seat, just get on. Of course, you can sense the excitement written all over my face because I am sure excited not only to be offered a seat, but a time with a personality I admire so much. My name is Arrington's Courage Power. It is exclusive on Toshima TV, and today it is exclusive with Anthony CHUKS OBUH.
I'm Tony OBUH, like you said, born about 60 years ago to a rural family in Agbo, the son of a school teacher and a trading mother. Went through primary school in Agbo, secondary school in Obuluku, had my first degree at Ife, my second degree in Ibadan. I joined the civil service of Bender State in 1982 as an admin officer. But before then, I had a stint as a teacher at Merriman College, Agbo. I was a history teacher for about 18 months before I joined the civil service. So from Bender State, we transited to Delta State in 1991 when states were created. And I served the state until 2014 when I retired as a permanent secretary. Well, good governance is a term that has very broad interpretation and meaning. And it represents different things for different persons, for different environments. But I think that the summary is, if you are in government, you use the resources of government equitably, judiciously, and fairly for your constituents. So for me, it remains a very viable option for building society, for building a happy economy, for creating wealth, and for ensuring that you have peace, security, and stability within your polity. Good governance is the only assurance that you have that you can enjoy development. I think everybody in Nigeria is now an economist. We have become marketplace economists. We interpret the society the way we see it, the way we experience it on a daily basis. There's no doubt about that the economy is tough. The policies are stringent, developments are difficult for people at different levels. But I dare say that before now, we have always preached that we needed a diversification of our economy. What we are seeing now is the difficulties that would normally come when you have to diversify your sources of income, your sources of livelihood. Things are tough now because politics have made things difficult. It is no longer easy maybe to access funds or free funds like it used to happen in the past. Now you have to work to generate your fund. If you have to work for government, maybe the policies regarding the release of fund and management of fund are no longer the same. The marketplace is difficult because everybody is complaining that the value of the naira has fallen, the dollar has gone so high. And anything that you have to do is like the Nigerian life is denominated in dollar. And if you don't have access to dollar, you have access to poverty. For me, this is a challenging time. And they say that when the time gets tough like this, the tough have to get going. Notwithstanding the difficulties that we have around us, I believe that there are numerous opportunities for us to find new livelihood, to grow ourselves, grow our society, grow wealth, and grow the economy. I think that we have the way to go. We change from an oil-based economy to an agri-based economy. We can find solace and solution there to create a new life and a new lease for the people of this country. We should continue to give emphasis to other sectors within the economy, even if it is ICT, even if it's trade. Buying and selling can also be there, but agriculture is a major employer of labor and a major source of creating wealth for the people. Agriculture can employ up to 80% or if not more of our labor force. The space is wide enough for as many people as will be interested in going into agriculture. And everybody, once you are serious about what you want to do, you have space to occupy within the agri sector.
I know you functioned very well during the Udwan-led administration, and I was opportune to be with him, and he pointed that he's happy that even Nigeria now is crying for Nigeria beyond oil. So, sir, during his administration, I mean the former administration, do you think that they were able to achieve this Delta Beyond Oil program? Were they able to initiate it to an extent that Delta can actually be beyond oil?
I would say yes, because the concept alone was persuasively presented to the people of this state and beyond, to the extent that at the national level it became accepted. If we say data beyond oil, it does not really mean that everybody will run away from oil, like I said before. The government went into promoting security. And why were they promoting security? That was one way of ensuring that those who will come in here as investors will feel secured to bring in their funds and invest within Delta State. So part of what we preach as Delta Beyond Oil is to attract foreign investment in different sectors of the economy. And one way to attract that foreign investment is assurance of security, which was a major platform that the Udwan administration operated. And again, there was the issue of tourism, which they started, which he tried to implement, although not much was achieved, maybe because of time or constraints of fund. I know that he had a major plan in trying to build tourism within Delta State as one major program of his administration. Again, in terms of agriculture, there were empowerment programs all over the place for people who wanted to go into agriculture. And then skill acquisition. If you have people who are looking for employment, the possibility of gaining employment that can generate wealth, employment that can be sustained, is to ensure first and foremost that those who have skill that can enable them build themselves and sustain themselves. So the Udwan administration, as far as I can remember, tried to build skill among the people, either through formal education in universities or some other short-term programs that were created to train our youth and other people who needed skill in order to be properly employed. We have graduates these days that can hardly write application letters. Sometimes you see somebody has a degree in engineering, but you take him down for employment in an engineering firm. They tell you that it's not employable. What is wrong? There's a gap in the training. So the government tried within that period to cover that gap by providing short training programs for people who wanted to go into employment. And then the technical schools, because we have people who come from the Cameroons, people who come from Ghana to do minor plumbing and electrical fittings in our buildings. And these are things that we can train people to do in our local secondary or technical schools. So the idea was to develop our technical schools to such an extent that graduates from such institutions, even if they do not progress beyond that level, they can sustain themselves by gaining employment, either directly as workers in companies or other firms, or employers of labor if they had the fund to establish their own. So as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I know, Udwan, beyond propagating Delta Beyond Oil as a philosophy, took action to implement it within Delta State.
One of the problems we have in government is what I'll call continuity. after this political dispensation, the next comes with its own agenda. So going through your manifesto, and I saw that you were going to continue with Udwan, some of Udwan's what he had laid down. So are you saying the current administration, I'm talking about the Okowa-led administration, is it continuing for where Udwan stopped, or he is beginning his own projects?
Well, I don't want to believe that our discussion today is a review of my effort at assessing leadership in government, or trying to compare what was happening then and what is happening now. So I'll be very, very reluctant trying to compare what happened then and what is happening now. But broadly, generally, I would say that both administrations are PDP administrations, and I cannot identify any dislocation in government in terms of programs. You know, like I said, Udwan had empowerment schemes that he was pursuing, and the same is continuing under the present administration. He also tried to rebuild, equip, and reskill our technical institutions. That also is happening in the present administration. So I will not think that there is any form of dislocation. You know, what may have happened is a slowdown in some areas, maybe because of paucity of funds. You know, sometimes in our traditional idiom, they say, if a lady does not marry two husbands, you will not know the good quality of the first one. Or until you lose something, you cannot properly assess it. We have gone through regionalism in Nigeria, a stage where we had 4 regions, 3 regions initially, and later 4 regions. And we have graduated from those regions into states, transited into a federal republic where we have 36 states. Now the frustration is becoming very obvious that the structure that we have cannot guarantee uniformity in terms of development and expectations. When we had the regions, the regional governments were able to direct their resources and their policies to areas where they consider to be their primary concern and areas that they had maximum advantage. But now that we have a federal government where power is concentrated, the federal government doles out funds to the states rather than the states building themselves. It has become necessary for only the federal government now to determine the direction of growth for the component parts of the state, and that cannot engender peace, because the priority for those in the southwest cannot be the priority for those in the northeast. The priority for those in the southeast cannot be the same with those in the south, even in the south or north central. So it is the overriding idea or priority of the government at the center that will now determine how we grow. And where you do not have direct control over your resources, there's little or nothing that you can do, especially where you cannot generate enough to run your government or pursue your programs and your policies. So the way it is now, for me, restructuring has become necessary and imminent for us in this country. It has become necessary because everybody has to decide the direction of growth. And until you have control over what is produced within your area and decide how to administer such resources, you continue to be subservient to a higher power. So for me, restructuring is critical for us as a nation. That does not mean that we'll tear the nation to pieces. No, that is not where I belong. Nigeria has to remain one. but the principles of the relationship between the component parts has to be addressed. Everybody wants development, and I do not think that there's any part of this country that wants war as part of their life expectation. What is expected is compromise within the polity. Something must give for you to get something. If we devolve power from the federal to the states and allow the states to preside over some of the things that the federal government is presiding over now, I think we can engender peace. And even in devolving power, there are critical areas that can also be considered as federal exclusive areas, just to ensure that no particular area takes advantage over the other. You know, so like I said, it's a matter of give and take, compromise here and there. But the overriding thing is that states must be empowered to do much more than they are doing now. Well, yes, for me, yes. What it means to me is opening the political space for more people to contest. It has not said that the elderly ones have been automatically disqualified. The meaning is that more people can come in to contest. Whatever you have, whatever quality you have, bring it to bear. Let people hear you talk and let people assess you. I'm not going to bring somebody just because he's 25 years old and he failed to graduate from secondary school even at 25. I'll bring to say, oh, this man is old enough to be president, let him be president. He has to demonstrate to the polity, to the electorate, to the people of this country that he has something to offer. Let him be tested and let him prove his method. Then he can govern. We have had experience of people below 30 years ruling this country, you know, and I think they did well as far as that time was concerned. So why can't young men now do well also? Young men and women. I'm still a politician, I'm still in politics, I'm still in PDP. I cannot say what I want to do now because I have not thought about it, but I think that God will normally direct whatever happens, whatever green light we get from the Almighty God, whatever direction we get from our people, whatever lead we receive, even if it is to serve as houseboy for our people, it does not mean anything for me, you know. But as a person, I have not pegged my mind or capped my idea, say that is where I'm going. Now, environment, the society will even mislead you because of their attitude and overriding expectation from those that are given position of leadership. It is difficult for you to explain to somebody from your community or deep down in your rural village that you've been in a position of leadership and you cannot assume responsibility for paying the school fees of everybody within your community. They expect a lot from you, far beyond what your capacity is. In that light, I expect that as a leader, what you do is to ensure that you are able to administer or allocate the resources at your disposal in such a manner that even where you did not satisfy everybody maximally, people who do not get will have that belief that if not me today, tomorrow it will get to me. We do not have enough for everybody, but some people can get something if judiciously allocated. And if my mind tells me that, oh, because you have given aid today, I'm assured that tomorrow it will get to me. If not tomorrow, maybe next tomorrow, I will have no reason for picking up arms to battle that it must be today or never. You know, so for leadership, for me, it has to do a lot with sincerity. You have to also be wary on the way you manage the resources of your community or the people that you are expected to lead. You must be wary of the fact that the resources that you have are not endless. Those resources are such that if you don't use them properly, you can never get to them again. So as you get your resources, you plan on how to apply them for the good of your people. Again, leadership ensures that life and activities within and outside government should be sustainable. If you have been able to create a health center for your community and the people are happy, you also go further to ensure that that health center serves the purpose. You will equip it. You will provide materials for the day-to-day running of that health center. You also provide personnel that have the know-how to operate the health center so that those who go there for services will get the proper services. And if everybody, every community has such a facility running, their confidence in government will be very high. It is only when leadership concentrates effort in building on the basis of ethnicity, on the basis of tribe, sectionalism, or religion, and all of that, that it becomes questionable and becomes a problem. But if you are able to build and generate confidence within your people, which is what leadership is about, you can also engender peace and even development. First, to Nigeria as a country, I think we must be happy that we have a nation that is endowed, richly endowed in terms of economic resources, even in raw materials, solid minerals, and all of that. So we'll continue to pray for our leaders that God will guide them aright to know how to apply our resources for the good of all. We should also pursue unity beyond ethnicity. Unity in the sense that God has brought us all together under one umbrella of Nigeria. Let us not begin to think of how to dissipate our energy, scattering that country. We will get more as a country, but let's join our hands together to see how we can manage our resources for the good of all. So as a nation, I will advise that the government of the Federation should pursue policies that will enable people to benefit maximally from the resources of this country, particularly in agriculture. For me, it is great love that Nigeria has been blessed with agricultural resources. From that level, coming down to our state, it is the same message of unity, a message of love for ourselves, message of support for the government. If God has placed somebody in charge of your territory, support that person to rule. When you support somebody to rule, when it comes to your turn, you also have support to rule. And when you are in a position of leadership, ensure that you do things that will make people remember years after you have left what you were able to build while you were in office. For me, let us build our people, build our resources, create wealth through hard work and through sustainable effort, especially in agriculture. Delta State is blessed. We have water all over the place. We have coastline that holds promise for rice production. If we're able to develop our coastline, we can feed Nigeria with rice from Delta State. What it takes is determination and proper application of resources to ensure that we convert these natural resources into viable economic activities. Then for our people, continue to pray for your leaders, continue to support so that God will bless them and through them also bless all of us. me as a person, I started farming a long time ago. If I can recall, since 2005, I've been into poultry business. I have a poultry farm in Abo that at present has about 20,000 birds. I'm also into rice farming. I have a rice farm in Ela, in Oshimile North local government area of Delta State, where I'm doing about, this year I'm doing about 30 hectares of rice. And I have another farm at Osisa in Ndukwa East. That's the first time we're going to Osisa. And at the moment we are cultivating about 50 hectares of rice. We are praying that God will make the land fertile. God will control the weather so that we do not suffer the adverse effect of flood, so that we can harvest and push our product to the market, and also help to alleviate hunger and poverty in our own small way.
Okay, it's been wonderful talking with Anthony CHUKS OBUH. It is still exclusive on Toshima TV. I am Harrington's Courage Power. I'll give way shortly for traditional profile. Stay with us.